Hey everyone, just got a quick deck list here. Took Spright to a regional last Saturday, managed to get top 4, and just thought I'd go over card choices. So we'll start the main deck. 3 blue, 3 jet, 2 red, 1 carrot, 3 starter, and 1 smasher. So I decided to run 2 red instead of 1, just in case if you have a starter set and you manage to get Dark Ruler, you have something kind of going forward with your plays. The only thing I would maybe cut is that red, though, if you're, trying to cut it down to 40, or if you maybe want to run a Pixies. Only loss I had this weekend was in the mirror to Spright, and it was to Pixies in the battle phase. Probably should have played around that a little bit better, but that just unfortunate happens. Pretty good overall. I wouldn't really add or take away anything else in any other area. The carrot comes up every now and then. When it does, it's nice. When it doesn't, you just don't summon it. From there, as far as the normals go, with 3 Diva, 3 Swap, and Ronin. Didn't run dupe. With that new super tall poly target, you're not really activating Toad in standby to get that dupe on board anyway. Now game 2 or 3, if you're not playing tier, you don't think they have super poly, you can definitely just summon the extra swap if you want an extra monster on board, but most situations it's not really needed. So it just was an extra card that I could take out. 3 prosperity. You're always pretty much banishing 6. You're just digging deep for, whatever cards you need, either out of your side, or maybe you need a starter, or just grab a hand trap at the end of your combo. 3 talent. This came up quite a bit, whether or not it was to steal a monster, can pretty much attack for game, or, to take an extra card out of their hand to prevent them from playing the next turn. 3 Dark Ruler. Whether it was I went second, or, turn 3, there's no reason not to main this right now. Cross out, it's pretty much for the Dark Ruler, but I do run quite a lot of hand traps, so in that instance, there were times that I called Crow and, prevented them from banishing the Ronin, or, just against Ash or something like that, but it was mainly there for Dark Ruler, and then just the one called by. As for the hand traps, I do run 3 Ash, 2 Veiler, 2 Crow, 2 Bell, and 3 Imperm. So it's a 45 card main. If you're just looking to cut some cards, the Bell I didn't think were really necessary. If you're okay with that, which I was, I never really ran into any consistency issues. I had probably 1 dead hand the whole tournament. Then I would just cut these and add an extra Crow and an extra Veiler. There were definitely times I was wanting to see these more, and never really cared if I saw a Bell. For the extra deck, 2 Gigantic. Third's not really needed. You're not really ever banishing that second one off Prosperity, so because you do typically make it up on a follow-up. Cat Shark was great, if you're just going for an OTK, or if you're just trying to hit over something that's, pretty big. Toad, obviously one of the best cards on the deck, just being able to bring it back with Elf once they summon a monster for an additional negate is great. Soul Sweeper, I made this more than I thought I would, just whether or not it was just to get rid of something big, or, just to get something out of the way, then if I knew I could go for game. Zeus package was big. Sky Cavalry, Downard, and Zeus. Pretty much every time I made Zeus, I went on to win. It was usually always after a follow-up of drawing the one of Red Reboot. Mirage, I'd keep that in. I don't think there's a reason not to play it. I didn't really ever have a bad enough hand that I needed to go just the Swap Frog normal summon line, but, it's there just in case that happens. 2 Elf, Hulk. The Hulk you can cut, you can keep. It really just depends. I like it. It came up every now and then. I maybe went that line once or twice, but overall, it's not the worst. IP was great, being able to go into Unicorn on their turn, or just whatever I needed. And then access code was just a great way to kind of close out games when I saw an opportunity to. For the side deck, Gamma package, really just there. It's a great hand trap overall, but the ability to hit the Spright normal summon, so then they just have to hope they have the starter, and you hope they don't. Overall, it really came up a lot. I was siding in that probably just about every game I could. 3 Lightning Storm and a Duster. I was anticipating a little bit more back row. I did have about 2 of my matchups be pretty back row heavy, so I was happy to see these. I'm definitely going to keep it in, especially after Mystic Mine running around now. 3 Appointer. This was the best card in the deck. It won so many games. You set it. You obviously have to make sure you keep something in hand, and then you're taking whatever you need out. A lot of times I'd have a set cross out, so I didn't really need to take away a Dark Ruler, but the amount of times I saw Lava Golem, or I saw Spear Mode, or just if they didn't have either of those, just taking the best card of their hand out. It really is a great card right now. 3 Evenly. This is probably the only thing I'd cut for something different. I never sided into it. I wasn't really ever worried about breaking a board, and I didn't see a reason that I would ever need it. From there, Red Reboot. Won more games than it should have. I saw it about probably 4 games, and it won every game. Just being able to say no to whatever they flip, and go from there to clear the board with Zeus and just follow up the next turn and win. It's a great card. Overall, the deck was great. Like I said, came top 4. Only loss was in the mirror. 45 card main. Like I said, I wouldn't really cut anything. I don't think there's too many consistency issues. I'm definitely going to try out the Adventure deck this weekend, see how that plays, see if I like that better. But overall, the deck's just fantastic. It's a lot of fun. There's pretty linear combos, so it's pretty easy to learn. But yeah, all right, thank you.